How to do your own budget planning. Today, I'm going to share the ways to plan for your own budget and the mistakes to avoid while planning your budget. Before we start, subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell if you like to explore more personal finance and money matters. I'll be uploading videos very frequently. So let's get started. Hi, my name is Louis, your financial educator. When it comes to planning your budget, it's very crucial to have the clarity of how you spend your money and where you allocate your money. That is why budget planning is so important. There are plenty of people failing in their personal finances just because they cannot plan their budget very well. And the fact is, it does not matter how rich or poor they are. Sometimes you will be surprised even the rich can go broke just because they do not know how to plan for their budget. So please don't think that once you get rich, then your life will be comfortable and you can forget about budgeting. Are economic troubles causing you to consider your personal financial situation? You may be worried about losing your job or how much debt you have. Avoid a potential personal financial crisis. Get back to basics with a budget you can stick to. There are 7 steps to plan for your budget. Step number 1. Set realistic goals. Goals for your money will help you make smart spending choices. Ask yourself, what do I want my finances to look like in 1 year? Decide what's important to you and start there. Before you can begin to manage your money, you need to identify what is important to you. Then you have a foundation to decide what you want to do with your money. Write down what is important to you and use your list to help you determine goals for your money. This isn't as complicated as you may think. A short-term goal might be to pay off debt or buy a new appliances. A medium-term goal may be to take a cruise or to save the down payment for a new car. Long-term goals typically include plans for retirement, paying off a home, or helping children start out on their own. Be realistic when setting your goals. You can always increase your savings later, but start by planning for success. Step number 2. Identify your income and expenses. You probably know how much you earn each month, but do you also know where it all goes? Find out by tracking what you are spending. Spend as you normally would, but for a few weeks. Jot down every cent you spend. It's easy and you might be amazed by what you find out. Now it's time to record your spending. This can be difficult because for most people, they are clear about where their money comes from, but not as certain about where it goes. Spending includes everything you spend your money on, all of what you may typically think of as expenses, utility bills, groceries, transportation costs, but savings for rainy day. Debt payments and life insurance premiums are all expenses as well. Some of our spending is on a weekly or monthly basis. For example, fuel for the car, groceries, paying utility bills. There are also seasonal or annual expenses that need to be accounted for in our budget. For example, gifts, holidays, home repair, new glasses or clothing. To calculate monthly amounts for your annual expenses, simply divide the amount that you spend each year on these items by 12. Step number 3. Separate needs and wants. Ask yourself, do I want this or do I need this? Will spending this money get me closer to my financial goals or further away? Can I live without it? Set clear priorities for yourself and the decisions become easier to make. As people track their spending, they discover that some of their money gets used for things they really don't need. Instead, they merely want them and often buy them impulsively. Impulse spending is unplanned spending, purchasing things that you may or may not need, or spending more on an item than you had planned. The key to good money management is separating needs from wants. If you are not sure if an item is a need or a want, do without it for a period of time. If after that time you truly can't live without it, it may be a need. However, even the essentials like shelter or transportation involve a want versus need calculation. For instance, you may have evaluated all possible transportation methods for you to get to work and determine that you need to purchase a car. Fine, but which car you buy is another choice you make. Step 4. Design your budget. Make sure that you are not spending more than you make. Balance your budget to accommodate everything you need to pay for. Many people don't like the word budget because they think it means limitations, deprivation, and no money to spend on the fun stuff. Anyway, your budget is your spending plan. It will allow you to live within your means, avoid the stress of money troubles, and give you the freedom to make choices with what you have. Most importantly, A budget will allow you to map your way to reaching your goals. Before you can go any further, you need to ensure that your expenses are not more than your income. This is where you need to make some choices based on what you learn when you track your spending and when you separated your needs from your wants. Expenses include everything you spend your money on, not just the bills. Money you deposit to your children's education funding account is an expense. Money you deposit into your savings account for your vacation next year is also an expense. Step number 5. Put your plan into action. Match your spending to when you receive your income. Decide ahead of time what you'll use each paycheck for. Ask yourself, have I allocated money for my necessities, housing, food, utilities, transportation, etc.? Have I put money aside for my debt payments, unexpected expenses, savings, and the fun stuff? This will protect you from going into debt further because you won't rely on credit to pay for your living expenses. You have set goals, identify your income and expenses, determine how much to save for seasonal expenses, and make choices around needs and wants. Take another look at your budgeting plan and fill in any revised monthly amounts that may still be missing. Now it's time to put your plan into action. Use a paycheck plan to match your spending patterns to your income schedule. If you are paid every 2 weeks, then align your spending to a 2-week schedule. If monthly, then a monthly schedule. Step number 6. Seasonal expenses. You know that things will just come out. School expenses, new shoes, or annual membership. Set money aside to pay for these expenses so you can afford them without going into debt. Planning how to spend your saved money just as you do your paychecks will allow you to have the money you need when you need it. This will help you avoid the stress of debt and give you the freedom to make choices. Step number 7. Look ahead. Getting on track with a budget can take a month or 2. You have lived all this time without a spending plan, so give yourself time to adjust. Remember, consistency is the key. Focus on your financial goal. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.